No, but okay. To be fair, the convention as of 1963, and there are also subsequent cases that have established this particular rule in this particular case. The convention is pretty clear. I don't know how it is ambiguous or is supposed to be debated in some ways for the avoidance of doubt. It states specifically in what they call it 1B that if he so requests, and I'm reading in verbatim, the competent authorities of the receiving state shall, without delay, inform the consular post of the sending state if within its consular district a national of that state is arrested or committed to prison or to custody pending trial or is detained in any other manner. Any communication addressed to the consular post by the person arrested in prison custody or detention shall be forwarded by the said authorities without delay. The said authorities shall inform the person concerned without delay of his rights under this paragraph. Again, and I'm making the further point to entrench this one because there's a lot of ruling on that.
Raymond, give me a second. Did he say if he so requests?
Yes, if the request comes from the individual. So you, what they call it, Daniel Dazi, you are the one who has been asked to, who has been called upon specifically as he arrested. You are the one who's been put in custody. You are the one who's actually been detained or kept without your permission in any issue or manner. If you request, they have to do that.
So that means that number one had to request.
Yes. But whilst today, we don't know whether he did or did not. Hope you get what I'm trying to say.
But did he have the motivation to request? Because here's someone who knows what is brewing back home in Ghana.
Yes, but we are told that the man was just going to get money to come back to the country. So if that was a sequence of activity, his continual stay there and detention there would not be in his interest.
But he jumped bail. This was someone who jumped bail. But anyway.
Again, but what Dindiok says contradicts the claim of jumping bail.
Which is?
He says that the man himself was not under any entanglement to stay in the country. That's why they didn't seize anything like his passport. He was not actually being prosecuted. So they didn't find any need to seize any of those activities. In fact, he even proceeded to say that they didn't want to be prejudicial to what was what they call the investigation ongoing.
That was a court case that he had brought against
very good
SEC and BOT.
So they didn't want to put him in the position merely being told that you have bail of a period or to do an engagement of a sort. Doesn't mean that you cannot travel. There are specific restrictions that can be placed on you. Hope you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I've seen people being given bail in court and still be given their documents to travel wherever they have to go.
So Dindiok Pemka paints the picture that, okay, so this is not a man that we were chasing for any crime.
Brilliant.
Per se.
So the claim of jumping bail is strange. Except that the bail conditions were that every week come to our office. And the man was not available within a period. But how would he have known?
The case that he missed a number of
But clearly, the man went on a day. Or sometimes, let's say September or October. How would the man have known that I will be arrested, I will be kept in custody, I will be not in contact with the Ghanaian authorities on my bail conditions? It's not as if he willingly placed himself under custody. I hope you get what I'm trying. So these are extraordinary circumstances that prevented him, perhaps. And if he felt like, when I go out, I can come in a week or 2 days and still make my engagement with the police or any other meeting.
He could still travel.
Or even go to court on those days. Because I knew of a footballer whose case was in court, who had permission to go and deal with this. In fact, he was being accused of assault. You get what I'm trying to say? Assaulting even a police officer. He had permission from the court to go and play football in South Africa.
Okay, so from what Joseph Dindiok Pemka is telling us, and we heard it clearly that they didn't seize his travel documents because no criminal reports had been brought against Nam1. They had to act in the manner that they did because they did not want to prejudice the court case. That means, Raymond, that they weren't really considering this guy as someone who had done something wrong.
Yes.
Does that not bring us back to square one in terms of why did we
treated this matter?
Yes.
How we have dealt with it right from the beginning. Because these complaints, the complaints of Amanda Clinton and the other teams, it predates the issues. One, the first issue that the people raised was that the man, we can't find him. Two, we are not being paid. In fact, their earlier demonstrations predates this time that the man is said to have left the country. So if we're investigating him and all these issues have come up, how was it possible that we could nicely let him leave and let him go and say that, oh, this is not a man that is under any proper scrutiny? upon all that was happening. In any case, if our state authorities were prudent enough to review the operations of Menzgold, you will not convince me today here that their operations were not one that required extraordinary scrutiny.
And you see, another thing, Raymond, the SEC issued an order and asked them to stop taking new contracts.
Yeah, we didn't shut them down.
That is all the SEC did. Nothing was done about his bank accounts. Nothing was done about his assets. For all intents and purposes, even with the Bank of Ghana, for whom, against whom this man had committed all sorts of offenses, because this is a man who was operating outside their remit, and it was a belief of the Bank of Ghana, according to the numerous publications that they put out. We can take you back to 2016 through 2017 into 2018. The Bank of Ghana believed this man was engaged in illegal deposits taking. Nothing wrong with that. Now, I have another question.
Which breach specific regulations and rules of the Bank of Ghana's Act?
Raymond, I have another question. All the Menzgold customers tell us that they were receiving their monies over the counter, weren't they?
Yeah.
Thank you. That means that there has to be a bank account somewhere that Menzgold as a company has to remove large sums of money from to go and pay these customers, isn't there?
It's possible. Also because, you see, but the thing with how you run such schemes is that you're waiting for me to bring money. First person, Daniel Dazi. Raymond has taken away some of the money as commissioner. So 15 of us come to take money. Then more people have to bring in money. It's very possible that Menzgold was even running his own accounts wherever it is, perhaps with other accounts too.
No. The point is, Raymond, Menzgold doesn't have a bank.
Yes.
They don't own a bank. They are not a bank.
Yeah.
So they have to keep a bank account somewhere. Let's say Daniel Dazi Bank.
Okay.
Right? My question is that for transactions of certain magnitudes, the Bank of Ghana is supposed to be in the know.
Yeah.
To check money laundering. You know, money laundering is one of the charges that have been brought against NAM1. That's also one of them. We understand that NAM1 had, and this is information we have, that NAM1 had problems with some of his banks to the extent that some banks that he was working with refused to hold his accounts. For a bank to refuse to hold your account,
there must be something wrong.
There must be something
because
wrong.
They need the money, to be fair.
And there must be reports made to the Bank of Ghana.
Yeah.
Did the Bank of Ghana not receive any reports? There's something we call suspicious transaction reports, STRs, that go from the banks to the Bank of Ghana. Is the Bank of Ghana telling us that in the 5-year life cycle of Menzgold, from Men's Bank with a K through to Men's Bank with a C to Menzgold now, nothing at all was received from any bank that Menzgold was dealing with? You see the question I'm asking?
I get you, yeah.
So in all of this, how can we get to a point where trouble is brewing somewhere, and we are dealing with a man and we tell ourselves that, oh, we don't believe there's any criminal procedure brought against him.
Yeah.
The thing that we are saying that he's doing, that he's operating outside a license, he's operating outside the law, he's disputing it. So because we don't want to prejudice his court case that is disputing us, we are going to limit our powers. I listening to the logic.
And all of a sudden, we are pretending that we are unable to proceed with state action because he filed the case.
Has gone to court.
And what he filed in court was not even a criminal case.
It wasn't even an injunction. Hey, Raymond. No, this is very serious. Raymond. I listened to the analysis.
Yeah.
He didn't bring an injunction against the Bank of Ghana. He went to the court to ask the court if the SEC and BOG have jurisdiction over him.
Yeah.
That's what he went to ask the court. He didn't tell the court to stop SEC from acting. In fact, after the SEC took its first action, he said that I have overperformed in what you asked me to do.
Yeah. So
you said I shouldn't take new contracts. I won't pay my old customers as well. For the SEC to come and say that we didn't say don't pay your old customers.
Yeah.
So clearly, Raymond, this was someone who was not averse to obeying the SEC. He simply went to court to ask the court, indeed, does the BOG and SEC have that jurisdiction over me so that they can ask me to do what they want? In the meanwhile, I'm obeying them.
What is becoming clear in all of this, Daniel, is that it's obvious state institutions failed us. They were lackadaisical. They spent so much time on this, and it reached the point where it was as if they enjoyed the kind of collaboration or conversation they were having in Menzgold at the expense of the ordinary Ghanaian that they needed to protect. So it was when the heat became unbearable. That's when they now felt the need to act in ways that, in any case, up until now, up until the time that they issued the warrant and all of that, we had complained consistently about the operations of the institution. There's been so many questions raised. It was when these people went to Kumasi, threatened mayhem. Some of them were arrested, about 8 of them or 7 of them also, and kept the demonstrations happening all the time. That is when we then agreed to act in this particular case. Imagine that if we knew right from day one, and we had got the man in there and had done the necessary things of now the things that we are not asking FIC to do, chase accounts that many suspect might even be empty today, if you understand how these operations are done, and chase a man who is already outside the jurisdiction. There's a lot that raises questions about how we operated in this manner, how we did our things when it comes to this particular case, and how we have come with any meaningful mode. I'm not convinced that the state couldn't have done anything better when it comes to this case. In fact, if you want to take Dr. Enin's own commentary on this matter, Dr. Enin believes that the conduct of state officials is downright, I mean, he has a word for it, shows downright incompetence.
Yes.
Some
That's
even
what Dr. Enin said
some even suspect it was possible collusion, because we have done many of these things in wonderful ways that it is way too surprising that we seem to let the man go easily. We seem to have treated the man with kid gloves along the line from every relevant state institution.
In fact, Raymond. And good morning, Samson Ladi Ayenini. He's a private legal practitioner himself. On the weekends, he has a different job. It's inaccurate to claim that the condition of his bail, referring to number one, the conditions of his bail could only include seizure of his passport if a criminal complaint had been lodged against him. Hundreds of precedents exist at Yoko this very moment. His funds in a bank was fully dissipated by the month SEC issued its final notice. Listen, no, were fully dissipated by the month SEC issued its final notice. He says that the bail conditions of the bank collapse, the bail conditions of the guys in the bank collapse, and they were not reported to be involved in serious crimes of money laundering and potential Ponzi. Interesting. Check bail conditions of all former appointees who have appeared before Yoko. They are granted self-recognizance bail, but not without serious conditions. Some suspects actually pay a part of the money deemed to be owed when they are undergoing these investigations, and they are granted self-recognizance bill. So in all intents and purposes, this was a very, very unique situation. Our question this morning, Raymond, and we continue asking, what was so special about Namwan?
That we treated him with extremely kind ways. In fact, we treated him like, oh no, this is a wonderful businessman. Let him not be treated like any other person who we allege was involved in all of this. So the crime of money laundering, when did he become part of the things we were considering today?
Raymond, we haven't finished. We'll be back. We are here, please. If you are listening, don't go anywhere. This is a very, very short break. We'll be back. Thank you.
I wake up in the morning, it's a new day, and I got bills that I have to pay. Now you're running late, running out of time. Feels like the world is waiting in line. All you gotta do is pick up the phone and just dial 737. So whatever you do, whoever you are, there is an easy way for everyone. The simple life is just one touch away. Experience the magic starting today. And it all begins with 737. And it all begins with 737. 737.
You see, I don't need to write or cash a check. I don't need data or internet. I have something that's faster than a jet. Just like
what are you talking about? You could be a palm wine topper, a teacher, a rapper, a schoolboy, or a school girl, or a trader, a bank MD, a chairman, or a baker.
Guaranteed Trust Bank. Wouldn't you rather bank with us?
Hello, I say, I was at now. Vodafone normal 10 megabyte free data. It will call Smoke Ruby Adrian. Share.
Hello, have you heard that Vodafone is giving 10 megabyte free data for every minute you talk? You just dial 50-50.
Yeah, hello. Aha! Right now, we the Vodafone people just they can call plenty. Sake of us, you talk 1 minute, you go get 10 megabytes. You talk 2 minutes, you go get 20 megabytes. 3 minutes.
Call Vodafone or any network and get 10 megabytes of free data every minute you talk. It's simple. Talk to browse. The more you talk, the more data you get. Dial 50-50 to subscribe. Talk more, browse more. Terms and conditions apply.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Would you buy a blade,
that doesn't cut? How about a freezer that doesn't cool enough to freeze? And what of medicine that wouldn't cure you or take your pain away?
No way.
So why would you buy a mattress that does not provide you with good quality sleep and rest? As humans, we spend about a third of our lives in bed. Since you are going to spend that much time, wouldn't you rather be lying on a mattress that is clean and just right for your body? Be smart. Treat yourself well. Don't spend 1/3 of your life sleeping on the wrong mattress. Or else, you do yourself. Latest Foam, your partner for life.
Nationwide Medical Insurance, the leader in private health insurance, has deployed superior technology to make your healthcare experience more convenient and exciting. With the Nationwide mobile app, you can order your prescription drugs and we will deliver to your doorsteps. With over 600 dependable healthcare service providers, you're just a step away locating your service provider of choice and accessing hospital claim information in real time. Our corporate clients are guaranteed timely corporate utilization reports. We provide on-site clinics to give employees access to healthcare in the comfort of their offices. Enjoy these amazing benefits and so much more by signing on to Nationwide Medical Insurance today. Call us on toll-free number 0800-222222 or visit our website www.nationwidemh.com. Nationwide Medical Insurance. Join the healthcare family.
Adepa. Telesol 4G has brought something real good. Unlimited fast and affordable fixed and mobile internet available for everyone. Telesol Adepa package offers you unlimited 4G data throughout the month for just 499 Ghana cedis, anyhow you want it.
Anyhow?
Yes. Whether in your home or on the go, the price is the same. Contact us on 0302-221-658 or 0302-221-659 or visit www.telesol4g.com. Terms and conditions apply.
It's a new day. I want you to first think big, not small. Think of how great we can be when we work together. Together, we can ensure that our hard work will provide a better future. Together, we can provide a foundation for you and your business to succeed, regardless of its size. Together, we can create opportunities for all. Bank with us today and let's journey forward together. Forward together. Cowbank, forward together.
The other day, as I was in my kitchen preparing my special jollof made with lily rice for my family, I heard a knock at the door. It was my mechanic. Instead of calling me to pick my car, he brought it himself. I said, "Cho." He said, "F-O." I said, "Take the car back. I will come and pick it myself." As I turned off the fire from under the lily jollof, there was another knock at the door. It was my neighbor. I said, neighbor. He said, "F-O, my dog has jumped your wall again, oh." I said, "Don't be silly. You don't have a dog." My wife and kids came home and we saw that he enjoyed. Cho, it was my pastor. He said, "Bless you." I said, "Bless you too." He said, "Did he come to church on Saturday?" I said, "Acho, but why are you coming to tell me this on Wednesday?"
Having to fend off visitors at mealtimes because of Lele's tasty aromatic rice? Celebrate every mealtime by sharing with friends and family, near or far. Lele. Tasty food, happy family.
Acho.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Food and Drugs Authority.
Super Morning Show.
Brim. Daddy, you panka. Now, see how much you did me do. You did me 100,000. Menzgold, you did me 100,000. What? You did me do. You did me 100,000. Menzgold, you did me 100,000. Because you loan one bank, they come on Menzgold. Now me pay 10%. I show me household. With this cashemo and away the just close. Nanapia, Nam 1. Where did I go wrong? He wrote his 0. Wabaji Dimba say Yembuno. But then you had this share run away. You try to cry Yemuno. Victim be so Bekono Goku, Obekwako Kuno. Commander Buamina Minyami Sikamira Fefuno. I think Obisumau. Umpo dia wenya sikani bi na open mau. Bank of Ghana man won in one thing. Some call demonstration. I then am when you music braka kasa starting. And you fought me on in an ado picture. Send your Ghana football genius so you're then a trickster. Celebrities people still say I stand with them one. And mammy bim to my dream post a man or bear hour. So those standing with them one, now are they sitting? Say you two for a muntie, now will you listen? We was sure say check a crank come out for be your victims. Woman when in the hop and you good keke, it be teams, it be something else. Next time before you enter into an agreement, read for all you know. If you be scam, they take money law you. Who play careless can crave pep, everything go bore you. But
29 minutes past 8 here on the Super Morning Show. Enjoy 99.7 FM.
What you say?
Opanka with Menzgold in the background. So we are discussing the finding, if I could say, of Nana Pia Mensah.
Let's go, let me 100,000. What? Let me do.
We're going to go on the phone lines next and speak with Kojo. Kojo is someone who normally invests in Ponzi schemes. He's proud of it, and he's going to share with us some interesting insights into this matter. But before I do anything else, let me make this a quick correction with an apology. I mentioned earlier that the suspicious transaction reports are filed with the Bank of Ghana. They are filed with the Financial Intelligence Center, FIC, which itself is a creation of the Bank of Ghana, but it operates independently of the central bank. So that's the quick correction there. It was created by the Bank of Ghana, but they operate independently of the central bank. Yeah. So we're going to speak with Kojo in a moment, after which we speak with Muhammad Drisu, who is an investment banker and a chartered accountant. Now, text messages are brought to you by Afrodan. Your back must last you a lifetime, and Glyco Travel Insurance Policy, we cushion you for life. Afrodan is offering you today the most comfortable chair in the world, the Nightingale Extreme Comfort Chair. It has over 10 thoughtfully engineered features, especially customized for your health and comfort. But working has never had it this good in a chair like this. So go to Afrodan on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade and feel this chair. You will be amazed. Now, if you're a real super football fan, this is your chance to see your favorite teams go head-to-head live in their home stadia in the UK. Open a Barclays Ultimate account, maintain a balance of at least 500 cedis, and swipe to make payments with your Barclays card as often as you can to win an all-expenses-paid trip to the UK to watch your favorite teams go head-to-head live. You could also win a stadium experience in a local superfan penthouse and take away exciting home items and your favorite team souvenirs. Don't miss out on your chance to experience football the way it was meant to be experienced live with Barclays. Visit our Facebook and Twitter for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Barclays, part of the Absa family.
Celebrities people still say I stand with them one. And mommy bim to my dream post a man or bear hour.
Let me say a happy birthday to Zuriel Annan of Rich Church School, Class 2C, from your parents who work at Kaneshi Court. So many other birthdays to say, but let me go on the phone lines now and speak with Kojo. Kojo, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Great. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, thank you. And I hope you are doing well as well.
I am blessed.
Thank God.
And so, Kojo, tell us, you invest in schemes even though they might be Ponzi schemes. So why do you do this?
I do that because, when they were Ponzi, as it is going around, I invest because I know that when I invest, there are so many returns that I get. And that is what is helping me in particular. Since it is something that it is of less risk. So when I invest and I get my money, that's what is important to me. So once I invest and get my money back, that's all. So when you talk about Ponzi scheme, I invest in Ponzi scheme, yes, of course. But I know that when I invest, I do get my money back. So that is why I invest.
Okay. So did you invest in Menzgold, which is a suspected Ponzi scheme?
No, I didn't invest in Menzgold.
Why not?
Because when it came, all right, a lot of friends talked to me about, hey, Charlie, this is what is going on. So why don't you join and let's go? And I said, oh, okay, how many years has it been in existence? Because the person just introduced it to me last year. And the person told me 3 to 4 years. And I said, 3 to 4 years? The possibility for it extending its wings beyond even 3 years to 4 years is something else. So I just have to wait for a little time before I decide to go into it. Because what I know about Ponzi is that those who go into it early get enough profit out of it. But if you wait till a lot of people have gone into it already and decide, okay, let me go into it, you are going to lose your money. So that's what about Ponzi scheme.
Okay, so that's why you did not invest in Menzgold.
Exactly. That's why I didn't go into Menzgold.
Kojo, you know how Ponzi schemes work, right?
Exactly.
How do they work?
What it works with Ponzi scheme, when you go into it, for example, I was investing in this Ponzi scheme that just collapsed. All right. I went into it, and when you invest $100, which is almost 500 cedis here in Ghana, you get 3% every day. 3% every day. When you invest more than $500, which is almost maybe 2,500 Ghana cedis, you get 4% every day. So every day you'll be sure that, hey, I'm going to get maybe 3% or 4% of what I've invested in this Ponzi scheme. So you get it every day. And what I know about Ponzi scheme is that if you go into it and you realize that your dividends is not coming as it used to come, then the Ponzi scheme, you know that it has already collapsed. Because me, when I'm introducing you into a Ponzi scheme, I'll tell you, hey, Ponzi scheme it's not for my father. What I'm introducing to you it's not for my father, it's not for my mother, it's not for anybody, because I don't know where it's coming from. My friend introduced it to me and I'm introducing you to it. So when it collapses, don't come to me and complain to me, Charlie, you made me invest in this Ponzi scheme and it collapses. No, I wouldn't bear any cost of it because I know what I've invested into. So if you do not have the heart to invest into it, so please don't come in.
Let me ask it this way, because I wanted you know that Ponzi schemes, they take the monies of depositors and they pay earlier depositors, right?
Sure.
That means that if you invest early in a Ponzi scheme like you were advising, what you are doing is that other gullible people's monies are being paid to you.
Sure.
And when you do that, knowing that what you are doing is you are really defrauding someone out there, because you are taking someone's deposit, thinking the person thinks that the money is being invested somewhere, but you are simply just taking the person's deposit to feed your wants for money.
One thing is that Ponzi scheme, most of Ponzi schemes that we see around do not come from Ghana. All right, most of them do not have their origin in Ghana here. From Asia, some of them America. Even if you go there, you wouldn't even see their office over there. That's why I was saying that when I'm introducing you to it, I'll tell you the risk involved, so that when anything happens, you wouldn't come to me and say, hey, you made me invested into this Ponzi scheme, and now this has been the result. So when I'm introducing it to you, I'll tell you, this is not for my father, this is not for my mother, and I don't know where it is coming from. I just saw it and I'm enjoying. I'm getting some returns from it. So I want to introduce it to you. So if you agree and you go into it and anything happens, I've checked out of it because I'm not responsible for anything. So yes, I know that, hey, for maybe 2 years, this Ponzi scheme is going to collapse. Or for 3 years, this Ponzi scheme is going to collapse. But I still take the risk and invest into it. When it collapses and my money is being drowned in it, fine. Then I'll know that I've lost money. But if I gain too, fine. And I know that I've gotten something from what I invested my money in. So fine, I will introduce to you that, hey, this is what is going to happen. So if you agree and we go into it, that's all.
On the average, how much do you invest into a Ponzi scheme when you are going into it?
On the average, you can invest $50. That's what
I'm asking you personally as Kojo, how much do you invest?
Oh, me, when I'm going into it, I invest $500.
$500
for the start.
For a start. And what's
Yes.
like the largest amount you have invested in a scheme like this before?
The largest I've invested in Ponzi scheme. Now, when I invest into it and the returns are coming, I just add up to what I've already invested.
Okay.
So for every start, for every Ponzi scheme that I'm going into it, I invest $500. And when the returns are coming, I just add up to it and I'll be adding up to it.
So you roll over?
Yes, I roll over.
You keep rolling over?
Yes, I keep rolling over.
Okay. It got to a point where life savings were lost. Pension funds were lost. When that happens, you feel like, hey, people were just being greedy and that's it?
No, I don't think about it at all. As I was telling you, I know what I am doing. So when I invest my money into it and my principal, I do not get any returns from it, I accept it in good faith. Like if you're going for my bet and you lose money in my bet, you don't complain to anybody. But when you get it, at least the excitement is there. So when I invest into it, my principal goes, I know that, okay, this is what I've done, and this is why. That's why my money is gone. So I don't complain to anybody. I don't think anybody is greedy about it. A lot of people are saying the Menzgold customers, they are greedy and all sorts of things. When you invest 1,000 Ghana cedis and you get 100 cedis every month, I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't see 10% of it being a greedy thing that most of them were complaining about. Because me, I've established a herbal shop. I established it with 7,000 Ghana cedis. And I was getting 1,500 Ghana cedis every month out of that herbal shop that I established. So I was getting almost 20%, even more than 20% out of what I invested. So if someone goes into Menzgold and gets 10% every month, what is greedy about this? I don't see anything greedy about it.
Okay, Kojo, are you willing to tell us which Ponzi scheme specifically you have invested in?
I've invested in EGAM. It has collapsed.
EGAM?
Yes, EGAM. It has collapsed.
Okay.
And I invested in Binance. It has also collapsed. I invested in ITG. It has also collapsed. So all these three Ponzi schemes that I've invested, they have all collapsed. And right now I'm into two Ponzi schemes that I don't want to mention names.
And you know they are Ponzi schemes?
Yes, I know. I know that they are Ponzi schemes. But the one I'm into it right now, my second Ponzi scheme, it just came around 5 months. 5 months into existence. So I know that this one will last more than 1 year. All right. So even if I invest and every month I'm getting 10%, I know that within 10 months I'll get my principal, and the rest of the month will be profit that I'll be getting.
How much do you make per week on the average?
Per week, it is from Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
All the Ponzi schemes from Monday to Friday. So when you invest maybe $100, you get 3% out of the $100.
Every day?
So yes, every day. So from Monday to Friday, you'll be getting 15% out of what you have invested.
Every week you make 15%. That means every month you make 60%.
Exactly, 60%. And what they do is that out of the 60%, they will give you 30% out of the 60%, and they'll put 30% aside for you so that you will be rolling over. You use that 30% to roll over. So after we normally withdraw on 1st of every month and 20th of every month. That's what we do. So you have your Bitcoin wallet, so they'll transfer the money into your Bitcoin wallet, so you know how to trade with a Bitcoin or you withdraw from the Bitcoin.
Or they pay you in Bitcoins?
Yes, they pay out in Bitcoin.
Okay. So you're making quite a profit from this?
Sure. I'm making a profit. In fact, what I'm doing right now, all the shops that I've established, is as a result of these Ponzi schemes that have helped me to do that.
You've established shops as a result?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about your shops. What business do you run? How many of them do you have?
I have a herbal shop.
Okay, you mentioned earlier that you have a herbal shop.
Yes, herbal shop.
So you set up this herbal shop as a result of these monies?
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
7,000 Ghana cedis. I established a herbal shop at an amount of 7,000 Ghana cedis. And as I'm speaking with you right now, I'm getting 1,500 every month and sometimes 1,200 because of the market. And sometimes 1,200 Ghana cedis. All right? And aside that, I'm into cars. I have a truck that I bought it for 10,000 Ghana cedis. But there was some fault around it, so I went for a repairs, which is 2,000 Ghana cedis. So in all, I bought it for 12,000 Ghana cedis, which I'm getting 100 cedis every day. All right. So even if I bought the car for 12,000 Ghana cedis and I get 100 cedis every day, then month you are getting around 2,400 or 2,500. So would you consider that as also a Ponzi scheme? Because you are getting more than 10% of the money you have invested. Right. So out of this Ponzi scheme, I've gotten so many things from it.
Well, of course, the obvious difference with running a Ponzi scheme and running a trotro business is that in a Ponzi scheme, it collapses one day, people lose their monies. You make it by lying to people. But in a trotro, that's not the case. So I think there's a clear difference there, isn't there?
One thing is that I don't make it by lying to people.
No, I'm not saying you are making money in the Ponzi scheme by lying to people. The one who runs the Ponzi scheme makes the money by telling people I am investing your money somewhere and I'm giving it to you. But what I'm doing is that I'm taking people's deposits and I'm paying you as we've agreed in this conversation. So you make it by lying to people. Is that not the case?
If that would be the angle, because one thing I know is that's what I've told you. Say me, I will tell you the consequences of what you are going to do.
That's
and
fine.
When I'm going to a Ponzi scheme, within me, I know that hey, what you are going into it is fire. So you must be very careful. So when you go into it and the fire burns you, it is your own fault.
Kojo, have you ever been called greedy before?
No.
Do you consider yourself as greedy? If someone called you greedy, what would you say?
No, I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy because I know that, hey, even when I invest money and I get returns, it is my money that I've invested. All right? So if I have money and I invest into something and it gets me returns, what greedy is all about? I don't see anything greedy about this. Because I know that this is my money. I've invested into something. Maybe you can choose to invest into structural business or in the herbal business or any other business that you can think of. And I'll say, okay, let me invest it into this kind of business. I know people buy treasury bills and all sort of things. You go to a bank to buy treasury bills. I don't know whether you've ever checked that, hey, what is this bank using my money for? All right?
Okay.
Or you know that you have got a treasury bill. So as to whether they are going to use your money to invest in any other business, you have no idea about it. All you know is that
actually, when you buy a treasury bill, you are buying a government bond. And so you are lending the money to government. That is how treasury bills work. Unless the bank is being dishonest. But the way we know treasury bills to work, you are lending money to government.
But I don't think you have ever found out what my money is going to be used for.
By government?
Exactly.
No, well, if you give your money for governments every year, they advertise, they say in their budget how much of the budget is going to be financed by outside funds. So you know at least the general framework of what is going to be used for development, for, some people take bonds to pay people. Recently we took bonds to bail out the banking sector. So I think there's a little bit of an understanding of what treasury bills are used for.
Okay. Okay, but me, what I understand about Ponzi scheme is that if you call me greedy because I've invested my money into something, fine, I might not know what the person is going to use my money for. But what I know is that at the end of the day, I'm getting something out of what I have invested. And if it collapses, I understand it because that is business. If you understand business, even if you establish a genuine business in inverted commas, as you may call it, it can also collapse because we have so many businesses that have collapsed. So it is part of business system.
Okay, thank you very much, Kojo, for joining us this morning. Kojo, as you heard him tell us, there is someone who invests in Ponzi schemes, and he's telling us boldly how he goes about it and how much money he makes from it, and how really it's not about greed, you're just making money. It's 30 minutes at the top of the hour. This is still the Super Morning Show. Enjoy. 99.7 FM. Al-Hassan Mahama Idrisu has joined us in the studio. He's an investment banker and he's a chartered accountant. Good morning, Mr. Idrisu.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners.
Awesome. They are responding to you. Let me respond to you on their behalf. Hope all is well.
I will thank God.
Okay. We want to talk about the A to Z of investment. We've been telling listeners all morning, and we want you to walk us through, if you want to invest, how to do it the right way. But since we are talking about investment, and you've just said Kojo, who also says he's an investor, we'll begin the conversation by asking you what you make of this Kojo. Is the guy just being smart? I mean, you're an investment expert. Is the guy just being smart or he's being greedy? I want to hear the answer of the question, but we'll take these short messages, this short batch of messages. When we come back, we'll begin there. Stay with us. This is the Super Morning Show.
At Afrodan, we believe that many of the